Welcome back to the channel, Crypto Trend Trader with a quick update on Bitcoin. But before we get started, I'd like to remind you it's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile, so please do your own research and trade responsibly. Here we're looking at the Bitcoin chart. I'm on Bitstamp Exchange. This is the 4-hour. And what I'm looking at is basically the same thing we've been looking at. We're in this long time channel. We broke out to the bottom with that massive capitulation after we have, matter of fact, let's just walk through this real quick. So we were basically, keep in mind this is the 4-hour, so this is months of price action. This goes all the way back to June of 2019. And we topped out up here, and we were bouncing around inside this channel this whole entire time. This purple channel with the green heart line. We finally broke out of that channel. Moved up to the top and got the fake out breakout of our long time. I'm going to the weekly now. Long time red trend line right here. We fell out of this green long time trend line right here and came all the way down to the blue long time trend line right here. And obviously if you're part of the community, all this was spelled out in the price action and in my videos. So now when we bounce this area right here, we never closed outside that channel. We got the move back up here, and essentially now I'm going to go to a shorter time frame now because the harmonic patterns are terrible for blocking everything. But we basically bounced back up, and now here we are. We came up to the top of the channel again, got rejected, and started forming this trend line up after we broke the first parabolic trend line of this move off the rally. And then when we came back up, we came back down, bounced it. We started forming that head and shoulders pattern that we've been looking at, and now I'm going to go down to the 4-hour. Here we are in the 4-hour. Essentially, it was like an Adam and Eve pattern, and when we came down and tested the neckline, we took off our shorts, our hedges, and we rode this up here. I got taken out of my trade right here, and then I re-entered right here. I got basically hedged my short right here as soon as we broke down below. I think it was this candle here, and then re-entered on the test of this trend line. And then we got that massive move up here. I actually got taken out of my Ethereum short as well on that bounce up there, but that's fine. The short is basically just covering my spot position. And then we consolidated here. I was obviously sleeping through all this, but we basically hold that key level of resistance. And now here we are pushing up to the top. And what we're doing is we're forming. It's basically a harmonic pattern, and all it is essentially like a culmination of multiple Fibonacci's. So you're taking essentially the Fibonacci of the previous swings, and then they correspond to form like a very common pattern that you tend to see. I shouldn't say very common, but essentially in order to complete it, you have to meet each one of these small stipulations inside here. So it has to be this point has to be 786 exactly from here to here, and then from here to here has to fall within. Basically each one of these different points has certain requirements that have to be met, and when these very, very specific requirements are met, they form one of these specific harmonic patterns. So it's the retrace of this previous wave right here, comes up to here, then comes back down and retraces a certain percentage, and then comes back up and actually goes higher than this previous point right here, and it'll take out all those stop losses. And in order to fulfill the pattern, it has to stop between the 1.618 and the 2.618. So what I'm looking for right here is this literally 7,000 to 7,350 on this exchange. And as soon as we tag this area, we're not only going to fill out the top of this ascending triangle pattern that we've been forming this whole time that we've been inside of. That's going to be the top of the triangle pattern, and that'll take us back down to the bottom of the channel, and then potentially the continuation of the bearish trend to the downside. So it's actually a higher high than the previous swing, but it signals that we're going to a lower low, we're going to go back down to the downside. So our immediate target's going to be the white trend line that we've been following right down here, back onto this 5,700 level. But it's realistic, we could come back down to the bottom of the channel right here. A lot could happen. So but basically we're looking to enter shorts through this area right here to cover now our spot position, and then we'll take the shorts down through here. You could take profits on some, or obviously not financial advice, but the way you trade it is take profits on some at this bottom support of the ascending triangle that we've been moving up in. But then also, obviously when we come back down to here, and this was like our distribution broadening wedge pattern that we broke out of and came back inside of, I would expect us to get again a reaction off that pattern there. And now if I'm completely wrong and we push up to the upside here, again, I would think we would test the red of the broadening wedge right there. But that's like key Fibonacci level, and then we could potentially see reversal or continuation from that point. But that would be like the 886 retest, 618. It lines up with a bunch of different Fibonacci's. So, but at this point in time, nothing has changed. We're still in a downtrend. We're basically. Let me go to a longer time frame real quick and just kind of check all this out. We're basically in descending volume. We got like a bunch of volume on the sell-off, and you can see like the slope of the volume is just slowly deteriorating as price action moves up. So eventually we run out of that volume essentially, and then we'll get like a spike in the opposite direction, and that will be like the dump. And all that is essentially just like, right now the price is being floated up, but in all actuality, you can see very clearly, like based on the volume and based on the trend and everything else that's been going on, what's actually taking place here. And now here we're on the weekly, everything is bearish on the weekly, except for the big green candles. And then as far as daily, histogram is back above the moving average. We're getting the cross on the, we're about to get the cross back over on the jewel thief. So potentially what would happen here is we would like sell back off from this point in time, and then it would get like the cross, and then we would get like the long-term daily continuation. But essentially, like, it signaled us in here at the bottom. These signals are obviously less reliable. I mean, you could have took this one, but you would have got stopped out and then just took the next one and re-entered. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a ton of extra like TA here. I mean, that's what I'm seeing, and I think that's very likely to play out. Now, it is possible that we don't even get up that high, and that head and shoulders still plays out. I didn't do a video yesterday for like the whole April Fool's, April 1st thing. I'm not really into all that, and I know people can make snap decisions and FOMO and everything, and I don't want to like play with people's like money or emotions or anything like that. Especially if somebody like forgot it was April Fool's and like watches a video and thinks it's for real. I can only imagine, but yeah, I just didn't have any interest in getting involved in that. And obviously this is a nice move that we got right here, but that's exactly what we were talking about. We had said previously for the last two videos that we made that I just wasn't convinced that we were just going to come down here and just dump and sell off. And that was the main reason we took the position off the neckline right here. And it was the same exact thing right here. We started like curving back over, but look at this price action right here. This is very methodical. Each candle looked exactly the same. And that to me looks too forced. That's not natural. When I see action like that, that to me looks like bots. That to me, mechanical. It looks too mechanical like that. Like I want to see like random big candles, little candles, wicks, all kind of stuff. This looked like it was being marched down on purpose. And then when it's marched down on purpose, and then you get a reversal candle like this at a key support, I mean, it just makes sense to take that trade and just see what happens, or to make sure that you have your stop loss in place. So if it does take out like whatever high you want to go off of, it basically puts you back into your spot position or takes you out of your short. So. But again, it's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile, so please do your own research and trade responsibly. I can't read the future, but I can see what's happening regularly over and over again, and to me it looks very likely that that's what's about to happen. And then if you just kind of zone out and look at zoom out, look at your Fibonacci levels, you'll see we're basically at the 0.5 right now, and then that lines up here at 7,700 with the 618 of that previous big move. So we'll see if we can get up that high. I'm not convinced that we're going to get like another huge burst up here. But again, all those levels are just lining up with each other. We've been respecting all the fib levels, even on shorter time frames. So we'll see where it goes. But, once you get a specific pattern lining up like that and the harmonics lining up like that, they usually are respected because it's hard for the price action to fall specifically in like all those criteria. So a lot of times when you'll see one, it will play out. So it's very important that you identify those and at least keep them in mind, because a lot of people will probably think to go long here when we take out the wicks at the top, And you know, we're basically like looking to close at a higher high. That's like at the highest high or a higher high. So what I would expect is like continuation, like price action, like a fake breakout, and then just like the massive dump. So, but we're just floating on up on lower volume, and I don't like how that looks on longer time frames. You know, we've seen this play out a million times. So protect your capital, be safe in these markets. Next big move's coming. You don't have to catch every single bit of it. We're just looking for that continuation. So, crypto trend trader, and I'm out of here.